Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today. And today I'm joined with a very special guest, Paddy Silke from the Man United Agenda. Paddy, how's it going?
Very well, thanks. Yeah, all good. Doing well. Looking forward to the game on Monday night. We've got a lot going on at our club at the moment, which I'm trying to keep an eye on the news most of the day today. So my TV's been on every day. A lot of reports, but I wouldn't mind it being reality. But you know what football's like: transfers, speculation. Starts in the morning, goes on all night around the clock.
I think we were saying it earlier on. As long as until you don't see on Sky Sports or BBC, that's where you know it's not official. So
we know.
That's how it is. But let's talk about the fixture. Let's get into it. So I don't know about yourself, but growing up, this was like always a very sort of exciting fixture for me. I have a lot of friends that are Man United fans, so you also have that rivalry, that banter. But over the years, I feel like it's lost a bit of its edge. I'm not sure what you think about that because maybe our teams, I think, have been a bit more tactical when they go into these games where both managers were not a bit more cautious and didn't want to drop points in these fixtures. What's your view on that?
Well, we've had a new manager. You've still got a great manager there. So, but this game is still the biggest game on the calendar. As you can say, Monday night, 8 o'clock. It was scheduled to be on the Sunday, I think, it usually is. But it got moved to Monday. This, footballing wise, is the biggest game in the world, I think. Liverpool, Manchester United, massive. You know, we've got world class elite club, Man United. They're still talking about it, regardless of where we are. We're still top of the agenda on Sky Sports. Same with Liverpool. So Liverpool, Man United, the two biggest rivalries. And we know over the years those great games. So you can't take the history away from these clubs. No way. And that's why it is the biggest ever. It still is.
I totally agree with that. I wouldn't go away from that. I think in terms of British history, hands down, we are the two biggest teams in the country with, you know, all the honours that we've won in the past. God knows how many years. So, but regarding your team right now, to say the least, not the best of starts. What are your thoughts in terms of how the team is playing in terms of the setup? Are you impressed with Ten Hag's selection of formation? Because that's been a bit of a talking point amongst fans. Obviously, the results haven't helped, but are you seeing any sort of progression or something that's positive about this season?
No, there's no positive. I mean, we've had the first two games. Everyone got actually carried away with pre-season. And we always said pre-season means nothing. We beat you 4-0, I think, in the game, but half a team out, I think, or players missing. So everyone got carried away with that one. It gave us a nice win, but meant nothing. Whatever it was, I didn't get carried away. So and then going into the first two games, we haven't got our signings in place. You know, Ronaldo missed the pre-season and didn't come on board. That's an issue in itself. So he didn't arrive, but he's obviously been present in the first two games. So, but it's going to be it's just, I don't know, Ten Hag. My criticism at the moment is Ten Hag's decision making regarding the captaincy and Harry Maguire. He hasn't boldly took it off him. I would have gone in as Pep Guardiola did with Joe Hart. If you remember when he first came to Man City, you're not my goalkeeper. You know, and that's it. You'll be gone. I know it's a bit ruthless, but you've got to be ruthless. And he isn't being ruthless with his team. He's played that selection last week of Shaw, Dalot. I mean, Martinez didn't work out. You can't have a 4'2" defender playing, you know, at the back. It didn't work, did it? You know, you got the Hobbit at the back, bless him. £59 million player, and it didn't work out. And he made 4 subs at halftime. How embarrassing! So I'm hoping he's learning lessons in this league, because it's a different league to the Dutch league, as we already know both, you know. So my worry is that, and some of these players aren't at the races either. So it's again another issue in itself, Ozzie. So difficult.
Yeah, I said it on my show the other day. I think the signing of Martinez was quite a naive one from Ten Hag and United, because he only signed him in terms of familiarity, that he knows the player, he knows how he plays, and the player knows how the manager likes to tactically set up. But he wasn't really analysed in terms of, is he a player suited for the Premier League? Because, you know, you said he's 4'2". He's not the biggest of people.
No, I do apologise. That's not his height. But come on, if he goes up against your centre forward, if you're not playing this in the game, which if you hadn't hadn't been an incident, it would be, never know. But maybe give it time. We're going to give Martinez time and see what happens. But like, it does bring a lot of these decisions into a concern, definitely.
Yeah, I think with Martinez, when he was signed, I thought maybe Ten Hag was thinking of having a back three because he would have been more suited for that sort of position where he's a bit more on the left side of the defense line. But
Yeah.
at the minute, it doesn't look like it seems like it's a 4-2-3-1 formation, which is what he used
That's
at
right.
Ajax.
But he played 4-4-2 last week at Brentford.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see what he does. But then he made 4 substitutions at half time, didn't he? You know, and we didn't see the goal second half last week. So maybe we'll see what happens. He does with the defense. He brings Varane back in there. They'll talk about Lindelof, but Lindelof I'd sell. He's supposed to be going to Villa. The rumor today, good. He can go as well.
Okay.
We'll see what happens there. Luke Shaw can go for me as well. I'd bring Malacia in. I think I love Malacia. Luke Shaw for me is useless, waste of time, has to go. Gala, he has to go as well. He's useless, completely useless. He's not done it before. He's not the right back we want. But Wan-Bissaka isn't able at the moment to fulfill that position. I don't think he's good enough. So there is problems in our positions we've got in that team, and we've got to get some signings in. But it's not going to change. It's not going to happen overnight. It just isn't. But we do need to make this. And transfer window is coming up sooner. It's coming up quite quickly. And we haven't got these signings in place. So we'll see.
Yeah, we've got, I think, just under 2 weeks before the window closes. So regarding rumours, strongly linked to Casemiro today for 60 million, I believe.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is that the right player? Obviously, the wages are appealing for him. That's probably why he's even considering a move. But is he the profile that you want at the club, or would you prefer maybe someone else as a target?
No, I love him. I mean, I don't know what's happening with De Jong. That transfer is going to go on until the next century. But you know what? He's a good player. This Casemiro. His record's fantastic. But Real Madrid, I've got a surplus of players in that position. He's going to have to fight for it. But he's a midfield enforcer. We need a leader on the pitch. We haven't got a leader. And if you can take the captaincy of Maguire, I would hold his hand tomorrow. Seriously. So if we need a leader in this team, and we need a captain, and if you get a leader and a captain, I'm up for it. Brilliant. I'm chuffed. So I'm really pleased about him. And he's a tough cook, and he does really well for Brazil. The Brazilian coach calls him his combative leader. So when I read that today by a journalist today, I thought, yeah, great. Brilliant. We need this player in that team. But again, we don't know. It's just talk. Telegraph have reported it today. Sky Sports have reported it today. But again, the last note I've heard is that the manager's having a chat with him. So does that mean he's going out for a new contract? Is that the reason why extension to his contract? Is there again another one like Ramos where, I'm leaving, I'm going, and they give him a new contract because he might leave. So I'll tell you what, this is why I hate about this, that they use other clubs as levers to get extensions on their contracts. So we'll see.
Yeah. Ramos is actually a good one. I do remember that as well because he did use the name of Manchester United to get better terms in his contract. So I think for you guys, let's hope that's not the case because I think that is the player that you've been missing for a long time, a defensive enforcer. I've already seen people on social media. You know how social media is. People can have all kinds of points of views, but regardless of how much the transfer and how much the salary he's getting, we don't pay the bill, so we don't really care in that regards. But that player is an elite player. He's still one of the best DMs. So if United were to get him, for me, that is such a positive signing. I know people say he's 30, 31, but in this day and age, that's not really old. If you consider how the average sportsman is, where they're able to play for a longer time than probably like 10, 20 years ago, where you didn't have the sports science regarding your eating habits and all that sort of stuff. So it's big key in terms of how these players are progressing. So I think that'd be a great signing for you guys. In terms of your starting lineup, I know you said a lot of players shouldn't be playing, but who would you field on that pitch on Monday night?
Well, from last Saturday, we had De Gea, Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, and Luke Shaw across the back. Eriksen, Sancho, Fred, and Fernandez, and then Rashford and Ronaldo. So I don't know what he's going to do. It's a difficult one. Does he keep the same lineup, or does he change it up again? Drops Martinez and puts in Varane in the back there. which he did do second half last week.
Yeah.
And obviously Fred came off. And there was a few players that came in there. Fernandez didn't play it for me last week, nor did Rashford. Not Rashford or Sancho didn't turn up. I don't know what happened to them. I think they're still back in the changing room. So it's going to be difficult. Eriksen, again, with that back pass, I'll give him time. And our goalkeeper, he will probably stay. And we haven't got a backup goalkeeper properly either yet. So he might be short on confidence, which is probably good for Liverpool, isn't it? So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. So it's a bit difficult. It's a difficult one to look at how we're going to set up against you guys, because we don't. Does he really, after what happened, does he make wholesale changes? I don't know if he will. But my worry with Ten Hag, he's new to this Premier League. It's his third game where he's been hammered. We've been hammered twice, haven't we?
Yeah,
beaten twice. So does he stick with the same side, or does he tweak some of the maybe change the defense? But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. Really don't know. But that it may stay as the same team as it was last week.
Yeah.
And I would never. But for Luke Shaw, I put Malacia in there because Malacia for me is the best left back I think we're going to have. I know he's young, and that's the reason why I didn't play him. But Luke Shaw, Dalot, just send them to, I don't know, to the bottom of the conference somewhere. Transfer them there, just save they're free, have them.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what I mean? So
I definitely agree on the Malacia one, because last season I watched him in the Europa League for Feyenoord, and he was very impressive, very flamboyant. But defensively, he's very good as well, one-on-one. So I think that's an interesting lineup. I think if I was a Man United manager, I would have a similar formation to what you said. I would probably play Eriksen more as a number 10, just because I feel like he's a bit more effective. But I think Bruno Fernandes does have that partnership with Ronaldo, so you never know. In terms of Liverpool, we've got injury crisis right now. So we've got, I think, at least 10 players that are not available. Firmino, I've heard rumors that he's pretty much back to full training, so he could be starting. So with that in mind, I think he'll lead the line. So my lineup would be Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Last week we had Nathaniel Phillips playing. I wouldn't start him in this game. Not that he did a bad job or anything, but I just feel like Joe Gomez was not quite fit enough. So that's why Phillips played. So I would go with Gomez and Van Dijk as my centre-back pairing. Robertson on the left, even though he was quite shaky against Palace, to say the least. Fabinho, for me, he wasn't great either, but, we don't have a lot of DMs right now. So that would be my number 6 there. And I'd go for Elliott and Henderson in midfield. So I've been impressed with Elliott, especially when he played against Palace. He was very busy, where he was passing and moving and trying to make things happen, which is not really a trait of our current crop of midfielders right now. So I like the way he plays. He's very impressive. And then my forward line would be Salah, Firmino, and Diaz. So Diaz scored a fantastic goal last week.
Oh, great goal, Diaz. Again, Diaz for me, he's the threat for me in this. I know you haven't got your number 9, who I still think is great signing for you guys. And if he was playing on Monday night, I'd be real worried. But him against Maguire, then I'll be really. Yeah, it'll be Laurel and Hardy time. I mean, we've got Laurel Comedy due at the back there. So your number 9, if he was playing, isn't. So, but Diaz for me, he's the threat. He's the boy. Great goal. Good. Very, very good quality. Good quality. Great quality player. Definitely.
We just got some comments here. Solo MBA. So that's good evening, gentlemen. How you doing, Solo? Thank you for joining the show. Big up Ozzie and Paddy. Thank you very much. And Madison Smith, I agree that Manchester United have to do something to improve, but wasn't Varane, Sancho, Bruno, etc. viewed as great signings? Casemiro is a good player, but isn't offering players massive wages. What helped? What's your response regarding to that?
I don't know, to be fair. I mean, I still think he should come and play for Man United, not for the wages, but I know what's going on. We're still a big club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, in my view. But they were viewed as great signings. But Casemiro, offering massive, 60 million as well. We're offering Real Madrid a good fee there. We're not going to get any money on the resale on that player at all. But we need an enforcer. So I don't think wages are going to help. I don't think that's the place. He's won a lot, hasn't he? He's won a lot of stuff at Casemiro. So I don't think he's coming for. He's coming to. Hopefully, Ten Hag can sell in the project, which there is a project. So he's going to be that mainstay in that midfield. I think It's going to help. So hopefully he'll come. I really be saddened if he doesn't, because I got hyped. He got hyped up today. I looked at him, looked at all his stats today. I thought he'd be perfect for us. Perfect.
I think he would be the perfect sign. If you were to get him, yeah, I think that is a game changer in terms of going forward.
Yeah.
Going forward, obviously he's not going to make everything rosy again, but it's still that direction where he's accomplished. He's an elite player. He's not a player that's past his best. I still feel like last season he was playing one of his best footballs as well. Obviously, right now in Real Madrid, they've signed Tchouaméni. So obviously he was probably regarded as the next big player in that team. So maybe his game time would have been reduced because of that new signing. So it makes sense to me in that regards. Madison Smith said, contribute to the mess Man United are in. If players don't perform, you can move them.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
I'm very critical of this team. This team is not good. These players are not good enough. They're not. That last Liverpool game from last season, we gave up. And also, my worry is he's putting these players through training now, hard training. But the running stats, when you looked at against Brentford, Brentford had the best running stat, and that means that we're not trying and we're not working hard. And if we go 3-0 down in the first 20 minutes to you guys, or 2-0, and we give up, that's my worry then, because then the players won't get, and then you'll do your usual play as Liverpool do now, and Klopp will keep playing. Then my worry is then we'll open up then. So I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I think that's what you want to see as fans. You want the players to run around and try their best. Sometimes the quality is not there, or if you're out of form, which can happen to a lot of players, or if if the rhythm's not there within the team, you just have to keep trying, keep making things happen. By pressing against the opposition, they might make a mistake that might result to an opening of a chance or a goal possibly. So that was the thing that I've noticed last week. The stats where I think overall the Manchester United team ran 9 kilometers and Brentford is around 14, so that's 5 kilometers difference. So that is a defining factor, isn't it?
You can't give in. And that's the problem. At Liverpool last season, as you know, we give in, and that was Roy Keane and a few of the pundits were highly critical of those players, because it's the same players we've got. We might be playing on Monday, but the manager's got to get them going. Otherwise, these players are going to play for pride, which I don't think they will. Or what is they won't. So Liverpool it'd be interesting how Liverpool come on. I know you've just had the first 2 games, which has been difficult, but it's going to be really difficult. Let's see how you play. I'm going to be there, eagle-eyed on the Liverpool players and play, and I'm going to be studying them very closely, as I always do, to see how these players perform. But if I see things that are going south with some of the players dropping the heads or the confidence, or they're not communicating in the first 10-20 minutes, then I'm worried. I'm going to get worried.
Yeah, for me, that has to be from a Liverpool point of view. That's how we need to start. We need to start the game very aggressively. Try and get an opening goal in that first 20 minutes to unsettle the fans and unsettle the Manchester United team as well. Because I think the longer we wait to score a goal, it gives your fans a bit more to cheer about, and might even actually help the team in terms of trying to get that goal in the later on period. So for Liverpool right now, I'll be honest, I'm not as confident as I should be if you look at the team on paper, just due to the form of the team right now. It hasn't clicked for us. I wouldn't even say with lacking fitness or anything, but it's just that we don't have that rhythm. The Fulham game, I think we were still half asleep. I know it was a midday kickoff, but that's no excuse. They were literally feel like they just come out of bed and just tried to hop onto the pitch. They were awful during that game.
Well, they were newly promoted sides. That's the problem you're up against. And the Palace game, I saw the goal. You were opened up massively on that counter attack for the goal by Sahar. Brilliant move, by the way.
Yeah, lovely finish.
That's the sort of thing that we've got to take advantage of on the counter attack. So again, it's unusual for Liverpool, but it's early days. I'm hoping we've caught you on off day, but it's going to be such an interesting game. Our confidence is low going into this game anyway. It's really rock bottom in my view. So it's going to be, for the manager, it's going to make some changes to incorporate some real new impetus for us, but it's going to be very hard.
Very hard. But if you guys were to get a point or a win, I think it will just rejuvenate you guys, because right now we haven't lost, but after Monday, you guys will be above us in the league. So for us, it's like the unthinkable.
It's mad. It's mad. The league at the moment.
We've not. Yeah. So strange one, but yeah. Score predictions. So what's the scoreline that you're going for?
It's a really hard one because I got last week's more or less correct. So
yeah,
3-0 to you.
Oh wow, okay.
3-0. I was about to say 3-1, but 3-0. But all depends on the first 20 minutes of this game and how he plays. But my worry is the confidence. We're going to this game not after a win of 2 wins. We're going to game after being beaten badly, and we have some real bad press. The players obviously been put into extra training regardless, but and the club is got issues, as you know, outside there now, which might get settled into their heads. And my worry is that they're not going to be full of joy when they turn up on Monday, when they come from the coach. So that's why I gave the score prediction, because you might turn up and play your normal game. I don't know. And when you do, we haven't got the strength at midfield the quality at midfield to deal with you. But I might be wrong. And our defense is dreadful. So it could be a bad one. Maybe I'm going on last year because it's the same players. Remember, same players.
No, it's a fair point. In terms of my prediction, I'm going for maybe a cautious scoreline. I think it'll be 2-1 to Liverpool. I don't think we're going to blow you guys away. I think you guys will score first if I was to make a bold prediction.
My God, I think that's
and then I think we'll probably equalize at halftime, and then we'll score one probably in the opening 10-15 minutes of the second half. I don't think we're in full flow right now, so I'm not expecting a lot of goals. I think Salah as well, he has his moments where he has good periods of time, but he hasn't really been his constant threat of last season. So yeah, maybe a cautious approach in my head, but I feel like we're not flying right now, and I think both teams are kind of under pressure to make sure they don't lose. So I don't think both teams will be attacking in full front. So that's my prediction on that one. Just got a comment here from Rebel from the Man United Agenda. Thank you, Rebel, for joining. Evening, lads. Hearing Casemiro could be doing his medical tomorrow. Does that excite you, Paddy?
It does excite me, but again, I'd like to know where that source comes from, because I always take the mick out of sources like this. I always have my own. When I see them on Twitter and they say source says that Casemiro is doing, or someone's name, I always say yes, source. I have an El Presidente in brackets, from young ones years ago, El Presidente, if you remember. And that's my stupid source. That is, you know what I mean? Where no source, it's just made up.
Rebel is saying it's from the Macra, so that's the Spanish one.
Yeah. I'm hoping, like I say, unless he goes on BBC Sports and Sky Sports, I know it's Macca, but my worry is that might not be true. So I'm just hoping from Sky tomorrow morning they say he's flying in, because I'll be at whatever airport it is. If he flies into our airport on a private plane, then I know it's happening. I know it's happening. So. I've
seen Liverpool fans do stuff like that on Twitter, where when we've been linked to a player, they'll check what time a private airline comes to a certain airport in Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so embarrassing. But
I'm looking at Sky Sports now, and there's no medical. Yeah. Oh, apologies, long day. But it's just been. It's interesting, but if it is the medical tomorrow, I will be chuffed, mate. Because then going into the game on Monday, it's going to lift the gloom that we've got. We just still need to do the protest. We still need to get these parasites out of this club as owners. We need new ownership. We need blue skies. We need to get an owner and get rid of this management of stupidity we've got there, the Arnolds and them idiots, and then get a proper people who are going to be working for the fans, because we're getting shortchanged massively. You can see that from the team. You can see that from the team that aren't performing, because we stay in the bottom half of the table. Ozzie, you know what I mean? And I see an early exit. I see an early Europa exit as well, mate. I really do, early. So it's not looking good. So we need the confidence has got to be lifted in the gloom, and that's why you may catch us on Monday. But you might, like you say, you've given your prediction. You don't know. We're at home. Remember, we're going to have the full house, 74,000. Man U Liverpool fans, again, great rivalry. It could be atmosphere would be fantastic. So both teams have got to turn up.
Definitely. No, there's no doubt about that. Just got a comment here from Brush. Big up, guys. Thank you, Brush, for joining the show. I wanted to ask you about the ownership. So right now, there's strong reports of Jim Ratcliffe, who's
Yeah, that's right.
interested in buying the club. What do you make of that news? Is he the sort of the right profile? I know he tried to buy Chelsea not so long ago.
He did, yeah, but he's done some great. I think Simon Jordan was talking around Talk Sport today about the fact that he bought. Is it Rennes or French clubs?
I think so. Yeah,
I think it was, but he's done a great job with them. And this is a big one for him to come in. But my concern, I think, is definitely. I think it's for the fans. I think the spokesman talks about the ground needing, a bit of improvement. So they're quite keen on that project. So yeah, definitely, mate. He's big. He's big money, and he's put a lot. And we'll get, we'll put some money in the transfer market, and we'll try and compete then with you guys, you and City. So that's what I want. But again, a lot to do. Everyone got carried away yesterday. Thought the club's been sold. It's been bought. It's not, mate. Sky News business expert was on there going, nothing has happened. And Kieran, I think it was Kieran Maguire, the football finance expert, was on today talking about saying, the Glazers are reluctant to sell this club. They are. I mean, no one said they're going to sell a minority stake for investment. They're open to it. That happens. Nothing really. And how long does it take for this sort of things? That first a club to sell like that it takes a long while, really.
Yeah, it does.
For this sort of thing to happen, and we do need it to happen quickly. We do. So, but if the Glazers dig their heels in, if they don't, and it all goes wrong with Jim Ratcliffe, and he walks away from the deal, there's going to be some serious protests over the next few months, mate. Seriously, that shop is not going to open again, mate, on any home game, as it wasn't last week.
Yeah,
not last week, the week before, first game, where it was the police and security had to get everyone into. So they stop, we stop selling shirts and stop spending money. We can try and do something and get these lot out.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Definitely, like not spending on the merchandise, because that's how they're generating their revenue, isn't it? So
exactly.
It's a baby step, but I guess for the fans, it puts them in the direction where it's like, look, let's get these people out, because
they're killing us.
I've got a lot of friends, so they've said it to me for a long time in terms of the Glaze and stuff. I don't think they understand the world of football. That's the thing.
Well, that's the world of football finance as well, because 2 billion, the 2 billion, just we were talking about earlier today, 2 billion is the fee that's been. That's what we're on. That's what we've been looked at on the. That's what we've been valued at. But the Glazers want 5.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right, they want 5 billion now. That won't sell the club more.
Rip it up as much as possible.
Massively, and they're going to string this out. So that's my worry. So this is not going to be an overnight thing at all. But it does, and also as well, the hierarchy needs to go, mate. I don't know whether the new people come in, if they do buy the club, they have to do a clear out. Arnold and Woodward were from the same ilk, mate. They're business people, not football people. So you have to have a mix of both. So there you go.
No, I agree with that. I think for me, looking from the outside, that is the reason of why Manchester United have failed over the years. It's not about spending the money, because obviously you have been. I know the Glazers don't really spend it from their pocket. They get loans and all sorts, and they spend their money like that.
Yeah,
but it's bad recruitment in terms of having Woodward doing all the dealings. You need to have an accomplished sporting director that has a philosophy, but also has the ability to negotiate these deals, because whenever you're interested with a player, the club automatically add 10, 20 million on top of the price tag, and the salary, you literally give them an open check, and then they're laughing. Sancho's earning God knows how much. I don't know.
And he hasn't turned up yet. We've got in this team product of poor recruitment. That's what they are, some of them. I mean, that's the problem.
Upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah, Sancho, Luke Shaw, they're just not the standard for this football club, given the past we've had. Most players of top quality that we've had, regardless of the managers we've had, probably from Sir Alex when he finished in 2013. Since then, it's just been poor recruitment, going out just buying that player, Di Maria, I don't know, Schweinsteiger, I don't know. Ibrahimovic was probably great. To be fair, he came and he conquered and he went great. But after that, then if you look at other players, I think Gary Neville did a thing last week. I think of like different ones, and you could tell. So it's been a bit of a real dog's dinner of stupidity.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more with you. Just got a comment here from Eagle Eye Football. Yes, my bro. Rich, thank you for joining the show. Yeah, has a question. Do you think the United fans will really boycott the Liverpool?
I don't know. I don't think they will. They will do. There will be a massive protest, massively, regardless of what has been organised. Whether boycott, I thought the game would be boycotted, but obviously it isn't. And they were talking about people walking at half time. I don't know if that'll happen at all. So I don't know. But they might boycott. Depends how bad the protest is going to be and how massive it's going to be. Could be huge. But the police, hopefully, it's not going to be. It's going to be peaceful. It's not going to be one where it's unlawful, where what they've done in the past, because that'll just be counterproductive. It will just play into the Glazers' hands and the club's hands, saying, "Look." So that'll be wrong. Then it will fail. So we've got to do. Could be quite a strong one. Be a real strong protest. I don't. We'll boycott the game. I think the game will go ahead. Definitely.
I think so as well. It's funny because I feel like there's been times where United have done protests, and because I remember it happening the last fixture against Liverpool. I think that was around January time as well. I feel like with this one, you've got Casemiro linked to the club, so maybe that's like a way to kind of make the fans think about transfers rather than the bad issues of the club right now, to kind of have it like a smokescreen in that regards. But yeah, I think the fans are restless now. I think it's been far too long for them.
Exactly. You're about placating the fans with transfers. They're going out, these buffoon management, Murta and whatever, are flying around the world going, I don't know, we wanted, what's his name, Rabiot, but his mother said, no, he can't because you've got to go to school. You know what I mean? So he didn't turn up, thank goodness. And then the player before that, he was a racist, apparently. The guy, Nakovic, is it? If I remember the guy that we were going to sign. But that was kiboshed by the club because the fans were going mad. So they've just been rushing off in all directions, going, it's like the end of, the January sales when the doors open. They're running all directions looking for the nearest bargain.
Yeah.
And that's why the embarrassment that we're sensing them and the shame as well of our recruitment policy, because we've got 2 weeks before the transfer window. We haven't got anybody. We need a few players in there, mate. If we don't, and that's what worries me with future games coming up. He needs some of those players better than what we've got now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you guys have a plan in terms of strategy. In terms of,
and it's too late.
Where we need the worst thing about it.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late, Ozzie, because it's too late to make these. It's the transfer window's coming. It's going to be up in 2 weeks, so it's coming up first, and it's coming up first, and fast and furious. It's not leaving us a lot of time, mate. I mean, De Jong is still going, "Where's my 20 million you owe me?" And he'll still be there with his hat going, "I'm not leaving until you give me that money." So madness, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. Eagle Eye Football. Why has Maguire not been dropped?
I would drop him. It wouldn't. It'd be gone. It'd be gone for me. He's dreadful. Dreadful. He's not a defender for my standards. He's not a captain in this club. There's nothing personal to him whatsoever. It really isn't. I've never personal towards any players and their footballing ability. And he is not a captain of this football club and should be dropped based on. But he will go to England to the World Cup because Gareth Southgate rates him.
He does, yeah.
Man. So it's crazy, bro, that he's not been dropped yet. It's just insane.
It is. I can't agree more with you there. Before we conclude, I just want to do a quick predictions of the upcoming games in match week 3 of the Premier League. So Tottenham versus Wolves. What's your prediction on that one?
I think Tottenham are strong at the moment. Great game against Chelsea in the weekend. I think they'll beat Wolves. I think they'll be too strong for Wolves. I think Conte, great manager, got that team playing. Really has. Yeah, they'll be very good. Very good. I think they'll beat Wolves definitely.
Yeah, I'm going for. I think they'll win convincingly as well. I think Tottenham will win 3-1 regarding that.
I say maybe 3-2-0, 3-2-3 on that definitely.
Everton versus Nottingham Forest. So I know Nottingham Forest broke their transfer fee record today, signing Matt Gibbs, I think, from Wolves, which is 42 odd million. Good signing for them.
Good signing for them and improve them. They've done really well. Forest, so again, newly promoted. Everton haven't done well. I thought they'd beat Villa on Saturday. Actually, I saw the game. It was 2-1 in the end, but I think Lampard's going to struggle there. They're one of my candidates to be down there and for him to go. Actually, Lampard. So I see Forest doing them about 2-0 definitely.
Yeah, I'm going for 1-0 for Forest. I think they'll nick it as well.
Yeah.
Leicester City versus Southampton.
Draw.
Yeah, that's good. That does have a draw written all over it. Considering how both teams have been conceding a lot of goals, I don't see none of them winning either. I'd go for a 1-1 for that.
Yeah.
Fulham and Brentford.
Another draw. Again, but I think both teams are playing really well. They really have. And I was in the gym last week, and I saw all the Fulham players stopped nearby, so they were in the gym I go to local. So I did speak to some of the players and some of the management there, but they're I think Fulham are newly promoted. Brentford play well, as you know, last week. I don't want to bring all up that again. Both teams, I think that'll be a draw. Yeah.
I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Brentford. I think they might just creep it in there. Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. This is an interesting fixture.
Yeah, it is. Villa bounced back on Saturday. They really did. I saw their goals. And it's away as well, so it was at Palace. But Palace impressed me against Liverpool. Really did. I like the manager at Palace, Patrick Vieira. I think he's doing a brilliant job there. And I know Gerrard just up the road here, because I live in the Aston Villa training ground just around the corner here.
Yeah.
So they're doing really well. I've got a lot of pals who are Villa fans. So that's a great win for them on Saturday, a bit of a booster for them. So in that game, but I do see Palace. I like Palace, but I can see Palace winning that 2-0.
2-0. I'm going for 1-0. In regards to, because you say you've got Villa friends that are fans.
Yeah.
What's their viewpoint on Steven Gerrard? Are they unhappy? Because obviously, I know there was this whole dialogue that they compared his record to Gary Neville's time at Valencia. Do you feel like now, or are the fans patient enough to let him do his thing for the season?
I think it's crunch time this season for Steven Gerrard this season. I think this is the season where it's got his players in. And they've got a lot of money. They've spent a lot of money they've given them a lot of money. So they want to see Villa have got to do things this season. They really have got to really progress than they did last year. So the pressure's on Steven Gerrard. If not, these owners, and they've got good owners there, Aston Villa, will go, do you know what? Bye. See you. They will. They'll say bye, and they'll get someone. I suspect them. They'll get rid. They want to progress. They've got a lot of money they put in there. They want to return. So yeah, it's gonna be crunch time for Gerrard. Really,
that's the same treatment that the last manager got, Dean Smith, where he was literally dismissed. I think it was in October, November. So they are ruthless.
They are ruthless, and I remember that was just went on too long. But Gerrard wants the job at Liverpool. My view, his long-term vision is to go back to Liverpool. That's his club. That's your club. That's his major. Hayden. So he wants to manage that club at some point. So he can't be seen to fail at other clubs on his way from Rangers now to Villa. I think he wants to make a success at Aston Villa now. So when Klopp's view is when his reign's over, he wants to get in there.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans would want that as well. I'm still a bit uncertain with Gerrard being the Liverpool manager, but obviously still got a few years to Klopp's contract, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Great player, but he's the hero, isn't he, at Liverpool? Yeah. But that doesn't always work out, does it? It just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't. Bournemouth and Arsenal.
Arsenal look good at the moment. They do.
They do really well.
Arsenal look good, but the manager there's got the players. He's got his reinforcements in there from transfer this year. They play well. I think I can see them doing. Yeah, I'd say 2-0. 2-0.
I'm going for 3-0. I think they're going to blow Bournemouth away in that fixture.
Yeah.
West Ham and Brighton. I think this would be a
good game. Brighton are good. We saw that in the first game, but West Ham have been doing okay. So I see West Ham doing well there, and he's made some. I think he's signed a player today, Moyes has, but I think West Ham are so tough, aren't they? They're good side. Yeah. It depends on the home and away. If I remember, if the home and away, I don't know, but I see West Ham winning that 1-0.
Yeah, this one's a home fixture. I would say, I think West Ham might win with a big scoreline. I'm going for 3-0.
Okay.
I've just seen today they were playing. I think they had a qualifier today, and Skamaka, the new signing, and
Yeah,
Cornet both played as well, and they both
Cool.
Cornet set up
Cool.
Skamaka to score goals. So,
Yeah.
and they signed the right back that you mentioned from PSG, German international. So
Yeah, exactly. So
they've
they're strong.
they've recruited really well this
Yeah.
this
Moyes has
summer.
done well there. Moyes has done well with West Ham. We've got
Oh,
Declan Rice still there as well. So looking strong for them again this season. West
that
Ham.
was the key, keeping Declan Rice there in that team. I
Yeah,
think he's going
yeah.
that's pivotal
Yeah.
in terms of their success.
Massive.
Leeds United and Chelsea. So this is at Elland Road.
I see Chelsea again. There was I think they're still good again, regardless of the falling out with the managers fighting.
Yeah.
Chelsea, still great. So I see Chelsea doing Leeds. There, still think they'll be too strong for Leeds. Chelsea, maybe 2-1, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going for that same scoreline. That's what I had written down as well. And the
Yeah.
final fixture: Newcastle versus Man City.
That's
the Park.
good one. I think that might be a draw.
Ooh, good shout.
Newcastle are good. They're going to improve, as you know. They are. They're going to be up there next year. But Man City, brilliant, aren't they? They're wonderful, and they've got that great Haaland up front. So
Yeah,
and the other players, they've got other great players there. To be fair, as you know, but I don't know. I see a draw.
That's a good shout. I'm going for a Man City win. I think they'll win 2-1. It won't be an easy one. I think Newcastle will really trouble them, especially in their home stadium as well.
Exactly.
I think they'll just nick it at the end.
Yeah.
Say the least. Yeah. But Paddy, thank you so much for joining the show. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
No problem at all, mate.
Everything football. Let the people know in terms of where they can follow you on social media and the channel that you represent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Admiral on Twitter. I'm on Admiral MUFC, the famous brand for all the clubs that I follow. So I'm part of the Admiral brand, that fan brand, Admiral MUFC. Patrick Silke, number 11, Admiral MUFC. The channel I present again is the best channel, I think, and along with yours as well. Ozzie, for Man United, especially for our club, the Man United agenda. So we've done, I'm part of that team. So very proud. So it's good. Come and have a look at us.
Thank you very much. No, it sounds very good. Guys, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will add a link to the Man United agenda in the description below as well. So make sure you follow those guys. Thank you again for tuning in. And Paddy,
brilliant.
All the best for the season. Not fully for this fixture, but we'll definitely catch up soon.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks. Thanks again. Thank you ever so much for having me on. Thank you.
No problem. Take care. Good night to everyone.
Good night.